Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I am doing my updated skincare routine. I'm also going to throw in a couple products that did not work for me and show you a few of the other things that I don't use on a daily basis but that I do incorporate throughout. So just to make it easier, I will pop up pictures right here of everything so that you can really see the product packaging because sometimes with the green screen it looks a little weird whenever I hold it up, so we'll do it that way so that you can see everything clearly. So I think my most recent skincare routine maybe like 5 or 6 months ago now, and I had just bought a bunch of new products that I was going to test out and see how it fit in with my skin and how it worked and everything. So there are some products that are still around and some products that I stopped using. So starting off with cleanser, now that we are home because of the baby and now also because of the quarantine, I am cleansing more in the shower, like with water, than I was before. Because before, whenever we were on the road, I would use a lot of micellar water because the water out in some of these places wasn't exactly great. So I trusted the micellar water more than I trusted like rando rest area water. But I am still using a micellar water, just not as often. And it is the Garnier one. The Biore one that I loved, I can't seem to find in most places anymore, so I did switch to that one just because it is widely available. It's all right. It's a perfectly good micellar water. I don't think that it's any better or worse than the one that I was using before. Previously, I was using the green one that was meant for oily skin, but I feel like since having the baby, my skin has really changed a lot, and it's tending to be more on the normal side and sometimes even a little bit dry if I'm going overboard on some of the products. So now that I've finished up with the green one, I switched over to the pink one, which is just for like all skin types. So that's the one that I'm currently using. I feel like it's perfectly fine. Now, if I am wearing makeup and I'm going to take that off with like a balm type of cleanser or an oil cleanse for my double cleanse, I did have a couple like balm cleansers. I still have a little bit left of the Physicians Formula one, but I'm almost done with that one. I do have a new one that I'm using from Ren. It is called the Perfect Canvas Clean Jelly Cleanser, I think. This one works really well. It does not make my skin feel like weird afterward. I feel like it washes off nicely. It is a little pricey, so I don't know for sure if I'm going to repurchase it after this, but I might. It just depends. I just started it maybe a couple weeks ago, so I still have plenty of it left, and we'll just see how I feel about it after that. Then moving on to cleanser, I have a few cleansers that I've just kind of like set off to the side because I was trying so many different ones. And now I just stick to basics, just a regular gel cleanser, no fancy stuff, just whatever I happen to have laying around. Now that we are stuck at home, I am trying to go through and use as much as possible of what I have just sitting around, rather than buying new things constantly. Doing pretty good at it so far. But the one that I have been using for quite some time that I am almost done with is the Kate Somerville Gentle Daily Wash. I got that as a free gift with purchase like last year from Ulta, and it's quite pricey. So I know for sure I'm not going to repurchase that whenever I'm done, but it does the job. It is a nice cleanser. I just don't feel like cleansers are something that I'm ever going to spend a ton of money on. So I'm using that one. And then after that is done, I have a small, like kind of travel size pharmacy, honey looking one. I'm going to finish that, and then after that is done, then I think I'm done with all the cleansers that I have backed up, and I'll purchase something different. After that, typically in the morning time, I will go in with my Ordinary Glycolic Toner. I fell off the wagon with this a while back toward the end of my pregnancy. I just stopped caring about most skincare, but now I'm back on the wagon with it. I'm using it, and I do feel like it's really nice. It does tend to reduce the texture a little bit, and I feel like my skin is actually looking really nice. I totally forgot to even mention that at the beginning of this, but I feel like my skin is doing really, really well. I actually sat down to put on my makeup today, and I was like, oh, I'm just going to do like a light layer of powder foundation. So I put on my concealer like normal, powdered that a little bit, just under my eyes, and then I was like going directly into highlight and blush, and then whenever I did that I was like, oh no, I forgot to put on foundation. So I have no foundation on. This is just what my skin looks like. I do have tiny little bit of hyperpigmentation here and here from previous breakouts. and I have a little bit down here, but I have no active breakouts, and I have not had a breakout in like at least 3 weeks, I think, and that was just one blemish. So my skin has just done a complete 180. I think that not being pregnant anymore definitely helped that, because the hormones have like, tamped down a little bit. But my skin is looking really good, in my opinion, compared to what it looked like at the worst of my acne. So this is working for me. So here I am with only a little bit of makeup, but not like actual skin makeup, base product. So there's that. Next, in the morning, I will go in with one of two products. I tend to like alternate. I was just doing fully just Differin. I started back on that, not even to use as like an acne thing, but to use as my retinol, because I was having so much problems finding a retinol that I wanted to actually try, because so many of them have not great reviews, or you look at the ingredients and the amount of retinol is like way down at the bottom, and then it's like just filler basically. So I just went with Differin because I know that it is a retinoid, so what do I got to lose, I guess? And it has been working out nicely. The one caveat is that my skin did get a little bit dry whenever I went every single day using it. So now I'm doing every other day or every 2 days, depending on how I feel like my skin is doing. On days that I use the Differin, I don't use the glycolic toner. So that's what I do for that one. And then on days that I am not doing the Differin, I'll go in with the L'Oreal vitamin C serum. Is it L'Oreal? Yes, L'Oreal Revitalift vitamin C serum. I'm liking that one. It feels really nice on my skin, and I do feel like it is helping a little bit lighten this pigmentation in conjunction with the glycolic products. Then for my moisturizer, I will go in with the First Aid Beauty Daily Face Cream. Skin Rescue Daily Face Cream. I have everything lined up behind the camera so that I can see it all. That way I don't have to hold it up. But I go in with that. I found it at TJ Maxx and Marshall's for, I think, $7.99. And at the time that I'm filming this, it's still available on Sephora's website for a retail price of, I want to say, like $22. Don't know why it's available at both places, but whenever I found it there, I stocked up. So I have 3 bottles of it. So I should be good for a while, but it's really good. It's just a very basic moisturizer. It feels moisturizing, and I've been using this even before my skin started to like normalize. And whenever my skin was still a little bit oily, it didn't make me like gross oily. Even with makeup over the top of it and everything, it just made my skin feel and look really nice. And I feel like for me, it's a perfect amount of moisturization without being too greasy. And I also don't use primer anymore, so that's just what I'm wearing under all my makeup all the time. And then after that, I'm not really going outside a whole lot, but if I know that I will be going outside, I do put on my SPF, and that is the Clinique Broad Spectrum SPF. It's a mineral sunscreen. It's the one that I was using while I was pregnant, and I really like the feel of it, so I've continued to use it. So that's what I'll put on after that. If I do have like an acne breakout or something, I did get the Neutrogena Rapid Clear Acne Spot Treatment Gel, and that's what I use on those on the off chance that I do have something going on. And then for nighttime, it is pretty much the same for like the cleanser, micellar water, and all that. And then for my active ingredient at night, I will go in with the L'Oreal Revitalift. I think it's 10% glycolic serum. So I'll put that on. I usually do my bedtime routine like an hour before bed. It does have a little bit of a tackiness to it, but after about 30 minutes or so, it fully sinks in, and it just makes my skin feel and look so nice the next morning. So I really like using that at night. And then I will top it after about 5 minutes. I really want it to like absorb a little bit. I will then top it with that First Aid Beauty moisturizer, and then go to bed with that. And I also bring that moisturizer up around like my orbital bone. I haven't even been bothering with eye cream lately, honestly. I just use that and it seems to be working out okay. And then about once a week, I will use my PMD, like microdermabrasion wand thingy. I bought this a while ago, and again, toward the end of my pregnancy, I just kind of fell off on it. But I've started using that again, and it's just one of those things that kind of suctions your skin up toward this little rotating disc thing, and it just resurfaces your skin. And I have noticed a big difference in that, especially with the texture that I had like on my cheeks, the tops of my cheeks, especially where like highlighter goes. I feel like everything looks a lot more smoother now after using that. So I think that that in conjunction with the glycolic really helps a lot in terms of the texture and stuff. So I do like to use that. And then I do have a couple moisturizers that I tried in the quest to find the perfect moisturizer for me, and they did not work out. So the first one is the CeraVe Daily Moisturizing Lotion, just the basic one. I thought that I really liked this at first. It had a good texture, very, very basic moisturizer. I didn't want anything fancy, but I realized that it was starting to break me out. Normally my skin is very reactive and it will break out like the first time I use something. But with this one, it took a few times, and I wonder if it was like a cumulative effect from one of the ingredients. Like it was just slowly clogging my pores or something. But I had to stop using it after I used about like half of the little small size that I had of it. And once I stopped using that, my skin got a lot better in terms of having the breakouts. And then I also tried after that the Garnier Skin Active moisturizing gel or something. Again, picture will be up right here so that you know exactly which one I'm talking about. But I got that because I was like, well, my skin is kind of oily. Let me get something that's not too heavy. Maybe that was the issue with the CeraVe, is that it was too heavy. But I got that one and it felt like no moisture at all. It was just like rubbing like water on my face. Has a really nice, fresh, like almost cucumbery scent, but it just didn't provide me enough hydration. I feel like if you had very, very oily skin, you would probably really like it because it's probably just the right amount of moisturization for that skin type. And it is for oily skin, you know, but I think I just needed something that was a little bit thicker. I know whenever I had very oily skin, I really loved products that were that consistency. So just because I didn't like that particular one for that doesn't mean it's not a good product. I think it's really good probably for a certain skin type. So those are the ones that did not work out at all. And then I'm going to take you into the bathroom and show you some of the masks that I use on like a rotating basis. All right, so here's some of my extras. I have my backup bottles of that face cream, this Physicians Formula, what is it, cleansing balm I'm almost done with. Have a few little like masks and treatments right there. Belief moisturizing cream, the eye balm. I haven't been using it lately, but I do have some backups of that. Some acne treatment that I haven't been using lately. Again, just some like kind of sample sizes of things that I need to use up eventually. This is a vitamin C serum that I was using, but I feel like now is a little bit too oily for me. Here's some eye creams that I haven't been using. Acne treatment, a backup face moisturizer. This one is pretty good. I just haven't been using it lately because I have the other one. And some more like moisturizing things that I haven't been using lately. And then over here, I have my masks. So these are all of the ones that I will kind of rotate through. Like I'll typically do one almost every day, if not then every other day. And I feel like they all kind of serve a little bit of a different purpose. So I just kind of pick whichever one I feel like using that day. So I have a couple hydrating ones right here. This one is just like kind of a, you know, all around kind of one. Clearing ones. This one is also kind of clearing. This one is a glow one. These three are more like glowy type of masks. And then both of these are kind of more on the moisturizing kind of side. So those are all of the masks that I use on a weekly basis. I'll just like pick one. Like I said, I'll usually do one either every day or every other day. And then just some backup skincare that I am not currently using, but will maybe get around to eventually. So there you go, guys. That is all of my current skincare routine and the extras that I use, plus a couple products that did not work out. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you got some good information and maybe product recommendations out of it. Let me know any comments that you have down below, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye!